Dear brothers, bishops, it is a great honor for me to be here and on behalf of Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church, His Beatitude Sviatoslav Shevchuk, and the Synod of Bishops of Ukraine, all Catholics of Ukraine, and the long-suffering, brave Ukrainian people to speak to you. We do not get tired of repeating in unison every day in the depths of our hearts. Ukraine stands, Ukraine is fighting, Ukraine is praying. Ukrainians want peace, but a just peace that will forever turn over the tragic page of the war that took thousands of innocent lives. Today is the 993rd day of Russia's war against Ukraine. I want to sincerely thank you, each of you, and through you, all the faithful of your churches, for remembering us, praying for us, supporting us in different ways, visiting us, worrying about us, and trying to be just by our side. Ukrainians appreciate that what you have done for us since the first days of the war. On these first days and weeks where we challenged the big challenge, all people in Ukraine, we felt your solidarity and your attention to us. Your various humanitarian support, financial support through Catholic Relief Service, a metropolitan healing of wounds of the war funds in Philadelphia, office aid to Catholic in office aid to the Church in Eastern Europe, Catholic Near East Welfare Association, the Knights of Columbus, other Catholic charities, as well as your numerous donations made through our Ukrainian eparchies here in the United States that help Church and our people to survive in the brutal conditions of the war. Many of you visited Ukraine during the war and directly touched the wounds caused by it. Thank you for your taking part in this tough struggle, marathon for peace in Ukraine with all of us. Now I'm a curial bishop, auxiliary bishop of the head of the church in Kiev. To get here, it takes 3 days. So first we have to move in Ukraine from Kiev to Lviv, after from Lviv to closer airport to Poland, stay overnight, and in the morning taking flight to United States. I think that some of bishops, the bishop president visited Ukraine and you felt all this long pilgrimage way to get somewhere. And also I'm responsible for Ukrainian migrants. I am the head of Pastoral Migration Department of USCCB, and my duty is to provide pastoral care of Ukrainians who left Ukraine recently or for the last 20, 30 years, and they live in the countries where we don't have our hierarchy. So there are no bishop, so I'm bishop for those people. It's around 18 countries where Ukrainians live now, and we try to managing the pastoral care for them. But before, for 15, 16 years, I was an army chaplain. And in our Ukrainian West Point, in Lviv Army Academy. So every day I hear from my former cadets who now are on front line about their wounds. So they messaging me, just telling about what happened to them. And recently I spoke with an officer who returned from Russia captivity, where he spent 2 years. We also have 2 priests who spent 2 years in Russia prison and were tortured there and passed through many challenges. And this soldier, this officer, told me that he already passed through the hell So he said that I will never be again in the hell, because to be in the Russian prison is really to be in the hell, already on the earth. And what he realized and discovered for our reality, so he said that now I understood that the evil has a real human mask. Sometimes the human person can be evil and can do many bad things to you. So they discovered many pain in these prisons. Another guy, Alexei, lost everything. A few months ago, he lost his family home. And a few days ago, he lost his leg. He wrote me a message. I am without a leg, in hospital, pray for me. I didn't know what to say to him, but I gathered courage and said, we will buy you a new leg. We will put you a prosthesis which will you be more stronger. But I also told him, I will always be next to you. You will not be alone. Today, more than 60,000 Ukrainians had amputation. So we need to support these guys, the men and women, the children, the people who are really need support and needs the people who are brave and do not afraid to stay next to them. So as a church, we cannot change all realities of the war, but we can be next to those people who suffer and wipe their tears. God wipes the tears of children who have lost their parents, women who have lost their children and their husbands, the tears of people who have lost everything. God is with his people. God is with the church in Ukraine. You are with the church in Ukraine. You are with Alexei, who lost his leg, and other guys and women and children who needs our presence. Considering the world's political changes, we hear different predictions about the possible end of the war in Ukraine. It should be clear that every Russian occupation leads to the elimination of our church as public community. All our churches on the occupied territories were closed, destroyed, priests were in prison or were expelled from the territories. So the Russians never will allow to have any Catholic church on the territory which are under occupation. Today, the big concern of all Ukrainians is that we are not betrayed, we will not be betrayed, and that our fate is not decided without us. Truly say, we don't want to be in the menu, we want to be at the table when the world will start any negotiations with Russia and their partners. At the beginning of the war, our enemy said that there was a so-called fascist regime in Ukraine. Later, they said that Ukraine is a mistake of history and that we as a state have no right to exist. Russian church authorities declare that the war against Ukraine is a holy war and that the whole of Europe and the world should be converted through the war in Ukraine. When we go on Facebook and we'll read the sermons of Russia church authorities, we will discover another mask of Christian life, which is very dangerous to think about that, because sometimes they use Christian values just to justify their crimes against their humanity. The Russian ruler often says that he has a time and he will wait until everyone is tired and turn away from Ukraine. Meanwhile, he occasionally throws information into the world that he is ready for dialogue. only on his terms, only based on what he wants. It is hard to believe that someone who told us yesterday that we are a mistake of history and have no right to exist knows how to conduct the dialogue. Russia, together with China, North Korea, and their soldiers who are already present on the front line in Ukraine, Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, and other countries friendly to them, wants to change the rules in the world and destroy the democratic order. We all see that from the news today. Today, organizations responsible for security, human rights, and dignity are becoming increasingly powerless. It was very painful for us Ukrainians to hear that someone concerned, deeply concerned about what is going on in Ukraine, but nothing is being done. We resisted in February 2022, and we will resist now. We believe God will not abandon us and will help us stop this evil. Also, we believe you will continue to pray for us, to advocate, and to help us. May God save Ukraine and save America, and thank you for your courage, thank you for your attention, and your being ready to be next to all Ukrainians who need your friends today at this time of the war. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bishop, for your compelling words, and certainly be assured of our prayerful support. I don't know if there are any questions for Bishop Sus. I think you may have left us all speechless. Yes, Bishop. Bishop Ito.
Dear Bishop Stephen, I felt like you when on July 2nd, at the beginning of your synod, I was sitting with you at the end of a very short 1 week, but very intense travel to your country, to Lviv and then Kiev and then back. I want to share with you what I shared at the beginning of your synod. When I visited the very first day on the land, this rehabilitation center, Superhumans, there was a child of 12 years old, Sashko, and Archbishop Guziak was talking with him, a smiling 12 years old boy from Kharkiv who lost his leg when the store where he was doing some shopping with his older sister was bombed. The sister passed away, and he lost his right leg. And in this center where adults were struggling to reckon with their new reality, having lost a limb and human capacities, he was there as a smiling young children, innocent, under the watchful, loving eyes of his mother. And we were told the story that when he first started using the prosthetics of his right leg, obviously he was bound to fall one moment or another. When he fell the first time, his mentor that was accompanying him said, well, now you have experienced falling the first time. To which he replied quickly, I've experienced the first time getting up. I want to share with you what I already said to all of you in your synod. It's the spirit that I encounter meeting with bishops, some other intellectual people, mothers, spouses who lost their beloved ones. What I've experienced is Ukrainian people is, yes, experiencing falling, but experiencing getting up, for which I'll give testimony. I want to thank you on behalf of UGCC. Thank you.
Thank you too. Thank you.